So for 6 years, I had the banks ringing me, going, you need payment for the mortgage. I was paying for, so we had the property when I was 18 that I had bought. My second one I'd already sold. The third one was the one we lived in most of our life together. And then we had another one. And then we had, because I was my mum's carer, this became the family home, which is the house behind my childhood home, so to speak. So the childhood home, I'd bought the house behind that so that I could be even closer to my mum. But these three were separate, and this one, my mum put up a deposit, her house as a deposit to buy this house so that we're all just one big backyard. And that's how it was supposed to be until shit hit the fan. I had to ring up the bank and let them know that we were in hardship and what was going on. This was about pretty much to the date 12 months. So this happened in first day of school, went back, was when I found out, till, which is for Australia is in January, February, till December. December is when I made the phone call. So it was quite a while I was able to keep up with the mortgage and that sort of stuff, because I sold the markets because I just mentally could not do that. Wasn't doing custom design cakes, but because my youngest was 2, so I just needed, and I knew he was my last one, so I just wanted some more time off with him. So I was forced to obviously go and get a real job. I did get a job as a bakery manager. So it was good pay and all that sort of stuff, but it was capped. And that's the problem with the corporate world. It's capped. You can only earn so much. You can't earn more than what you need to earn. Yeah, it came to a point where I knew that I needed to start up my cake business on the side and earn extra money. So do full-time work, leave the house at 7, pick up the kids at 7, pretty much. Or Emily, actually my eldest daughter was bringing them home from school, but my youngest one was in daycare. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know how I did it, honestly. So come December, I rang the bank and I said, look, I need to go into hardship. I just can't afford to pay the mortgage. I just needed like a breathing space. What he was doing was renting out so we were living in the family home. He was renting out these 2, but he needed to take on this as well, because these 3 equaled this mortgage. So to make it fair, he needed to take over these 3, but he refused to take over this one, just took these 2. But what he did was he rented these out, didn't pay any of the money that he was collecting from rent onto the mortgages. And so with this one, it had to come a point where it was basically a standoff. And I had to stop paying the mortgage to just make ends meet. And he needed to take it over. He said he would, didn't. Wasn't rented out. So he's collecting all the money from here, not putting it on any of the mortgages. So the debt is just getting higher and higher and higher. I had to stop paying mortgages for 3 months. That's what I had arranged with the bank for this. And then eventually I had to catch that up. So this dragged out, plus lawyers' fees and all of that. Mind you, I had started up my cake business. I'd left the corporate world, started up my cake business, 3 months into it, and boom, I was able to earn what I needed to earn to survive. And well, here we are 20 years later. Technically I had a little break in between my 20 years, but we've been solidly, that's coming up to 10 years since we did all that. So it wasn't until, this all happened in 2017. It wasn't until 2023 that it got finalized. And the only reason why was I broke my knee. I broke my knee in half. Insert a picture here. And I'll tell you that story another time, but because that is a whole nother story on its own. Somehow, just some sort of a miracle, We didn't get our family home taken away from us. My risk was, you know, losing my childhood home and our family home that me and the 4 kids lived in. And that was the scary part. In the middle of all that, we sold off, you know, those 3 other houses that we had. Sold them at a loss because the market at the time was quite low. And that's fine. So we ended up with 120,000 debt, or 130. And then it was the argument, who's going to get the debt? You know, because like I had already paid all of this money and above on our current family home. Now, it was an absolute miracle that the banks had held on to this for 6 years. 6 years until settlement happened. Like, to me, that's a miracle. Like, honestly, you see all these other stories that they get repossessed and all that, and that's literally the road I was heading down. That my childhood family home was going to get repossessed. Our family home was going to get repossessed, all because of everything that was going on. But I fought, and I worked as much as I could in my own business to get enough money together to survive. And in between that, we remained happy and positive about everything. We just had to keep moving forward with our happiness and our peace, because all I ever wanted in life was peace. It was stressful, but it could have been even more stressful if I had let it be stressful. It was up to me. The power is within me. The power is within you to choose to make that choice of whether you're going to let this determine how your life is in the present moment, to remain positive, remain happy. You know, I was happy. I was free. Like, it was the best thing ever. I had met the love of my life. My business was the most successful it's ever been. I actually, when I restarted it up again, it was like I had been given this extra talent. Now, I had a little bit of a break since my dad had passed away. Like, so I stopped the cake business in 2011. I only did custom cakes for a family, friends, and that sort of stuff, but I had closed to the public. Now I restarted again. I hadn't really honed my skills or anything. I had just been gifted this extra blessing of a gift to design beautiful cakes, and it was just mind-blowing. I don't know, that's just another thing in itself. But it wasn't until I was in the hospital with my knee broken in half, and that's another miracle story in itself, we will put here. It was that in that moment that I said, I called my auntie and I was like, I'm so done with this divorce. Can we just get it over and done? So I spoke to my husband, Paul, and he said, let's do it. We decided we'd take on all of the debt, the 130 that was left over from the 3 properties. We get the family home and my childhood home, which I had to fight for. Do you know why? Because my mum passed away within the divorce settlement. The divorce was not settled and my mum passed away. So therefore it comes into the pot, into the pot. So that's another thing you need to watch out for. I fought like a dog to save my family home. I fought like a dog to save my childhood home. And I did it. I did it with a smile on my face. And was it hard? It was just stressful when the banks obviously rang, but it's out of your hands. I honestly just trusted God. I just trusted the universe that it would all work out. If it was what's meant to be will be, was the saying. The only thing that stressed me out was losing my childhood home, the home that my dad bought and had said he wanted me to have. And I was like, I don't want your house, just sell it and go travel around Australia. But he was determined that he wanted me to have it, and that was that. I just didn't want to let him down with that, because I know that that was his way of financially setting me up as well in a sense. So I broke my knee And we decided, we were like, yep, no, give us the debt. We're done. This is over. So we did what we did. And it was over. And oh my God, it was the best feeling ever. It was just freedom. There was no lines of connections of, you know, financial ties or anything. It's been, gosh, so now what was that, 2023, it's 2026 now. It's been 3 years. Our credit scores are really good now. I'm in the green and all that sort of stuff. There is life after divorce. There is life after financial abuse, and there is life after the silent abuse, which no one talks about. Not much anyway. The mental abuse. Mental abuse is pretty, but you know, I was raised strong. So yeah. Thanks for listening.